That's right, Nana and Tom. I'm here in the City of London where we just heard from Kemi Badenoch making this offer to Labour. Often it's forgotten, isn't it, I think, in the conversation in Westminster, that the main party of opposition in our country is the Conservatives. I was struck by the fact that Keir Starmer didn't mention the Tories at all last night when he spoke to the backbenchers. He mentioned Reform and the Greens, and you're seeing deputy leadership candidates coming out today not mentioning the Tories. So here we have it, Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Tory party, trying to get back in the conversation, but about benefit cuts, with this offer to support benefit cuts by the Labour government. I sat down with Kemi Badenoch and asked about that very issue. Kemi Badenoch, you want to help Labour cut the benefits bill. It's too big. Everyone agrees with that. Is it a serious offer? Surely it's an offer they can't accept.
It is a serious offer. We saw in July Labour unable to get any welfare savings through. They brought a bill that was supposed to cut welfare and they changed it so that it would increase welfare spending. And we cannot afford that. It's quite clear that Keir Starmer is being held hostage by his left-wing backbench MPs. He had a reshuffle last week. He can't reshuffle his backbench. So what we're doing is, in the national interest, offering to sit down with him and find common ground where we can make savings.
And you voted against those cuts, didn't you, in the summer? That's confusing.
There are increases.
Okay.
Cuts.
£5 billion cut off the bill was a cut.
No, it was not. It was £5 billion of less of an increase. It was still an increase. We need to bring our welfare bill down. We've maxed out the credit card. Labour are borrowing to pay off the credit card. I mean, this is insane. We have to fix this.
How much would you cut it by? I think it was $20 billion back in the manifesto in the summer.
Well, let's see where we are. What we want to do is make sure that we can at least find some genuine savings, not just slightly less of an increase than what they were planning.
And what would you cut? What's the most egregious benefit you would cut?
Well, one of the things that we have identified is that because of COVID and the stopping of face-to-face assessments, quite a lot of people are claiming benefits when they should actually be in work. We need to get those face-to-face assessments in. That will bring down the bill. We also need to look at some of the low-level conditions which don't need benefits. They just need perhaps support to get into work, like low-level anxiety or depression. Those sorts of things will actually make a huge difference right now.
You said in your speech there that Labour are maxing out the government's credit card. Isn't that what your government did over the back end of 14 years in power?
Not quite. We cut the deficit every year until the pandemic. COVID is what changed everything. We had to do a once-in-a-century job. We paid people to stay at home so that they wouldn't get sick, wouldn't be hurt. That was an extraordinary thing. And a lot of people were very grateful for that. But right now, what we need to do is move on from the pandemic, not accept what we did and what we spent as the new normal. We need to start reducing the deficit again. That will help us get the debt out, under control. And that's why I am offering, in the national interest, to sit with Keir Starmer. Let's find some common ground.
You're third in the polls. Labour candidates for deputy leadership are mentioning Reform. So Keir Starmer didn't last night to his party. The Greens and Reform they're talking about, not the Tory party. Is that a worry for you? When will you start cutting through? Do you have time as leader to cut through?
No, they're talking about all the left-wing parties. Those are their competitors. We're the only party on the centre-right. We're the only party talking about fiscal responsibility. The Green Party, Reform, Plaid, they all want to increase our welfare bill. We need to try and find some savings right now. That's really important.
Is this the start of a fight back for you personally to get your numbers motoring in popularity terms? What's your message to Tory MPs who can start putting letters of no confidence in you from the beginning of November?
I think that the real message has to be to the country. This is not about me. This is about all of us. What's going to happen to the UK if we continue with what Labour is doing? There's only one party that is focused on fiscal responsibility. There is only one party that's going to try and bring these extraordinary bills down where we're borrowing and maxing out the credit card, and that's the Conservative Party. One
of the candidates for Labour's deputy leadership, Dame Emily Thornberry, is talking about a new wealth tax. What's your response to that? I
think that is a terrible idea. They call it a wealth tax so that people think it's going to be billionaires paying the taxes. The billionaires are leaving. The people who are going to pay the wealth tax are all of us, and it's going to be family homes and pensions because that's the wealth that we have. They need to stop taxing more and start cutting spending.
Nigel Farage won't publish his tax return. You said he wouldn't earlier this year. Aren't you the same as him, trying to conceal your private finances?
A tax return doesn't actually show quite a lot of what people need to know. I'm on PAYE. I get paid by the government. They know what my taxes are. HMRC or my, knows what I'm paying. Angela Rayner didn't pay her stamp duty. That doesn't go on a tax return, and And this is what I'm talking about, that this is a fig leaf. What we need are people who are actually going to be honest, do the right thing, not just publish things where the information on it might not be correct. And right now, doing the right thing is about bringing the welfare bill down. This is the only way that we're going to try and get public spending under control in the short term, and Labour needs to get their act together. We will work with them to find some savings.
Where do you sit on digital ID cards? That's been mooted as a way of dealing with stopping people disappearing into the black economy in this country.
Other countries have digital ID cards, and they have even bigger problems, with the boats crisis. So there are uses for digital ID, but right now what we're really focused on is controlling our borders and stopping people from disappearing. I don't think that the digital ID would solve that specific thing. What we need to do is stop the boats. We should get back the Rwanda removals plan. Labour should never have scrapped it. They said they were going to smash the gangs. No gangs have been smashed. Boat crossings have gone up. I think we had 1,000 people arrive at the weekend. Their one in, one out plan with France, nobody's gone in or out. It's just, this is all time wasting.
And just on Boris Johnson, The Guardian reports he's making money as a former Prime Minister. Do you object to this?
Well, I think that people should be able to earn money when they leave politics. No one has seen apart from The Guardian, what these allegations are. I think that The Guardian is distracting from what Labour are doing, which is making a mess of our economy. They now have a political crisis. They're not thinking about how to make our lives better. They're worried about who's going to be deputy leader, who's up, who's down. This is all a distraction from the real problems facing our country, which is how do we make sure we can afford to fund our health service, schools, defence? How do we make sure we're not borrowing to pay more borrowing? We are in an economic crisis of Labour's making, and we will work with them to try and fix it. If they will come sit with us, let's find some common ground.
And just very finally, looking forward into your party conference, this is a make or break one for you, isn't it? At what point should you stand aside for someone else to get your party up in the polls?
I've said that our party conference is going to be the time when we talk about what our plans on migration are going to be. This is the first time that I'm going to be addressing party members as leader. Nearly a year since since I was selected. And I think that the party recognises that the last time we were in opposition, we were in opposition for 18 years and then 13 years. Sorry, Labour were in opposition for 18 years. We were in opposition 13 years. They were in opposition 14 years. It's going to take time for us to get back on track. The real thing that is extraordinary is how Labour are in free fall after winning a historic majority. That is what is creating this political crisis.
Kemi Badenoch, thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Kemi Badenoch there telling us that her party is the only one of the centre-right, that she won't support, obviously, a wealth tax that's being pushed by Dame Emily Thornberry. She won't publish her tax return, and she says no to digital ID cards. Just finally, Tom and Nana, at the very end there, she asked for more time, didn't she? She pointed out that Labour were in opposition for 13 years, the Tories for 18 years there. She says, in a sense, it's time to give us, I need more time to make this work. The concern for her is that with MPs putting in letters of no confidence in her, if they want to, from the beginning of November, time is not on her side.